more and more of my couples are concerned about their finances. They're looking at their budget and they're getting offers for better jobs. But when one of them gets an offer for a better job, but the other one has a good, stable job, one of the options is for these couples to actually consider enjoying a weekend marriage. Now, I'm saying a weekend marriage and enjoyment in the same sentence because I think it is very possible to have a substantial weekend marriage where you're doing it for a limited amount of time, whether it's work related or family related or whatever, as long as both partners are fully on board. I say this because I've actually done this before with my husband. He took a better job, a job promotion in Lubbock or in Houston, and I stayed in Lubbock for a temporary time until my daughter was through junior high, and it worked really well for us. It was a little harder for him. He doesn't like change as much, but because we both knew the ultimate end, and it was only for 3 months we had to endure it, we thought we would be able to do it, and we actually were able to do it. There's pros and cons, but no matter what, I wouldn't take on the concept of a weekend marriage for more money or better job status unless the marriage is healthy and has a strong foundation. Because if it doesn't, the things that are limiting it or weakening it will come back full force, and there won't be much you can do about it then, especially if you're committed to a new job. Like once you commit, then you have to make it work with your partner so that the two of you can reap the benefits of it. So here are the pros. The pros, number one, it spices up a tired relationship. A lot of people take each other for granted day to day. Now all of a sudden, when you know you're only going to see that person on weekend, you miss them during the week, and you'll start talking to them more. You'll start exploring new sites when they are with you. You'll want to do new things. You go out to breakfast, you go out to lunch. That increased face-to-face quality time does wonders for a marriage, and it increases the intimacy part too, because you miss each other. You miss holding each other and snuggling, and that's an added benefit to this weekend marriage. Secondly, it reduces fighting. Most conflicts happen during the week when you're together on mundane issues. When you're not there every day, then you're only going to have the weekends. And when you have a conflict on the weekend, usually it's shortened because you don't want to spend the whole weekend fighting it out together. And number three, there's an increased appreciation, and that's because the two of you aren't seeing as much of each other. So you really appreciate the little things they do to make you feel loved and cherished. The cons, if there's any trust issues or issues with infidelity from the past, that will rear its ugly head. Some couples, the partners, are very jealous, and they're just that way by nature. They're jealous, they're suspicious. This type of a pattern will not work well for them because they won't know, they won't have the security of having their partner check in every day, being there with them in person, and that is a really hard hurdle for people who have been through infidelity, cheating, or are just suspicious anyway, maybe from a childhood issue. I would not recommend this type for them. Number two, parenting inconsistencies can be an issue. If you're not both parenting, if there's one person that is taking over, the other parent isn't checking in, oftentimes you'll see children regress. You'll see them feeling abandoned. It's very important that both parents are still holding the line, disciplining for consequences that child runs over, and talking to that child, not leaving that child. That child needs to know that even though the parent who's far away is still very much a part of their life, their parent, and they can touch them and reach out to them at any time during the day. And also, the parent who's away has to really be supportive of the parent who is there doing the work every day. And lastly, personal time is really reduced. Maybe you're the one that's consistently flying to or driving to see your other partner. That's going to wear and tear on you. Like pretty soon you can't go to the gym when you want, you can't get together with your friends as much because every weekend is spent packing, going to this other place to see your partner and then coming home. It can feel fun at first, but it can start wearing and tearing on you when it's extensive. That's why I really recommend that couples who are going to do this do it no more than 3 to 6 months, and they're constantly changing who comes to whose place, because I think it's very important if you have kids, that dad or mom comes home to see the kids to their home, as well as taking the kids to see them. And I also think it's important that no one partner has all of the travel they consistently have to do, because traveling is not how it used to be. It's very stressful, and that alone can make you feel exhausted by the time you show up for your destination. And an exhausted partner is not willing or able to put in the same amount of effort as the one who is well rested. So try it out. Talk about it before you do it. And yes, it can be a very viable way that couples can have a better financial situation, set a better budget, and get their lives back on track. I think in all of those aspects, this is perfect. But if you start feeling like you're losing your connection together for more money, then it's not worth it. Get back together. You tried it, you put good effort into it, but it's not for you, and that's A-okay. Save your marriage, prioritize your marriage first.